Assalamualaikum and hi everyone, I'm Atika. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for clicking on this video, it means a lot to me. So as you can read from the title of this video, today I will rate these 5 books that got high ratings on the internet. Without further ado, let's get right into it. The first book is this Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami. So before this, I didn't know much about Murakami. I knew that he's a pretty famous writer because I've seen his books pretty much everywhere. But that's all that I know. I didn't know about his writing style. I didn't even know that he actually wrote in Japanese. So this book is basically a translated version. So this book talks about Toru that recalls his first love with Naoko, who used to be his best friend's girlfriend. So this book is basically the flashback of Toru. The first half of this book is so slow. I mean, it's so slow. So for your information, I am a slow reader. I enjoy slow-paced things. You know when people say that, I like that show, but that show is pretty slow. That's when I know that it's perfect to me, because my pace is kind of slower than the average people. So when I say that it is slow, it is so slow. I didn't know what happened there. I just don't know. And then the other half of this book is chaotic, but in a peaceful way, if that makes sense to you. I just don't know the purpose of this book. I don't get what it tries to convince me. I don't get what it tries to tell the readers. It feels nothing. Like, I don't know, it's so slow and I don't know what's happened. Even after reading it, I try to give it another chance. I look at the internet to see people's review because this book got high ratings. And it turned out that this book is either hit or miss for a lot of people. And I am totally hated, a total miss for me, 2 out of 5. So next book is this And the Mountains Echoed by Khaled Hosseini. This book also got 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. So this book starts with a 10-year-old boy named Abdullah. So Abdullah had a younger sister named Pari, and then their mother died when they were very young, so they lived with their single father for a while. Then their father married to another woman and they got a few other children. So one day there was a rich lady from the town. That lady didn't have any child. So then that lady came and saw this family, and then she felt like, oh, I think I want a child right now. So she made a deal with Abdullah's family. I will give you a lot of money to buy Pari, to make her as my child, but with one condition: nobody could ever talk about it. So Pari wouldn't know who's her real parents. But because Abdullah's family lived in poverty, they didn't really have any choice than to let Pari go. So yeah, that's the beginning. It's so sad, and I swear to you, that is all the best about this book. The rest of it is a flop. This book could do way better with that idea, but it turned out that it's not that good. There's so much characters in this. There's so many point of views, there's so many events, there's so many scenes that I don't even know which one is important, because everything seems important, but at the end, like, nothing is talked about. If this book is so slow and talk about nothing, this book is so fast that it talks about everything. So I give this book 1.5 out of 5 stars. 0.5 stars less than this book, only because when I read this, at least there are some scenes that I feel relatable to. But when reading this, I felt like nothing is related to me. Like, I couldn't feel the connection. So yeah, this two is a total miss for me. So sorry. Next we have The Tattooist of Auschwitz by Heather Morris that I don't have it with me right now because I somehow lost it. I'm sorry. The book got 4.2 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. This is a biographical fiction, which means that it is based on a true story. So the characters on here are all exist, but there are some events that have been modified to make it more as a novel. So the book tells about a Slovakian Jew named Lil who was imprisoned in the Auschwitz concentration camp. So for your information, Auschwitz concentration camp is the biggest concentration camp during the Nazi era, where over 1.1 million people lost their life there. So you can imagine how brutal the setting is. Lil was ordered to tattoo the number to the prisoners because back in the days they didn't have the shirt with the numbers on it for the prisoners. They used tattoo so that it's easier for them to detect because it's permanent, which is also brutal, right? Then Lil tattooed numbers on this one girl and he fell in love with her. So yes, this is a romance novel, but this is not the typical romance novel. This book will leave you with so many thoughts. How the world can be so brutal, how the world can be so insane, how the world can be so loving, all at the same time. This is really a one in a billion story, which I really recommend you to read. So to about history, to really recommend it. I give it a 4 out of 5. Next one is The Extraordinary Life of Sam Hell by Robert Dugoni, which I also don't have the physical copy of it. But this time, not because I lost it, but because I read it on my Kindle. So this book talks about Sam, who was born with ocular albinism. So this condition made him appear normal in general, except for his eyes. His eyes got really less pigment that make them appear red. So he grew up being bullied, being called as the devil boy, the boy from hell. So the theme mainly about the struggle of a person that appeared less to the society, which I think relatable to everyone because we at some certain point of our life always feel less. So this book is really good. It also talks about the spiritual side of Sam because he always asked God why he gave him this condition. If you loved me, change my eyes to normal brown or at least blues. But yeah, that never happened for sure. This story is so beautiful, so relatable that I think you can love while reading it. I am 100% agree with the Goodreads rating, so 4.2 out of 5. And last but not least, we have These Small Great Things by Jodi Picoult. This got 4.3 out of 5 on Goodreads. So this is a 500 pages book, so it's a pretty thick than the average novels out there. So this book talks about Ruth, a black nurse who's being banned by a white couple from nursing their son. So this couple is also a white supremacist. So you can guess the theme here is about racism, race discrimination, and justice. This book is, oh my gosh, so well written, so beautiful. The plots, the characters, the events, everything is so good that I think instead of reading it, I feel like I'm watching it, You really can feel everything happening. If you want the feel of watching some good Netflix shows but in the reading form, this is it. And I totally get it why this book is also the literature reference for some of the tertiary levels, because there are a lot of things that you can discuss about. You can see a lot of things happen from different point of views, Because when someone did bad things, usually that's not because they wanted to do it. So this really helps you to learn more about that. I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. Highly recommend it. So they are the top 5 rate fiction books that I've read this year. If you like this video, please click on the thumbs up button. It helps a lot with the algorithm. With that being said, if you watch until here, thank you for watching and have a nice day.
If there's a question, it can't wait.